Ladies and gents, I promised you guys that I would do a showcase of all the different variations of the Flash as a Lantern character. So today, that is exactly what we're doing. Stay tuned for the rest of this video. And don't forget, guys, if you enjoy this video and you want to see more videos like it, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. And today's video is going to feature, is it 8? I keep forgetting if it's 8 or 9. I think it's 8 different Lantern characters. We start with the basic Flash, and then we'll work through the different variations of the Flash as different lanterns. Now, on top of that, I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. What is your favorite out of the entire bunch? So let's get started. First and foremost, we have the red classic Flash, looking very stylish. And then it's time to bring up some other variations, shall we? So we're going to scroll down to our customs screen, and we're going to start with the one that there is actually a video on the channel for, and that is Blue Flash. And he looks pretty stylish. I have made a couple of tiny adjustments to him. I think he looks pretty good overall, though. He's got the blue lantern ring, of course. I went with the black and blue kind of design for the majority of the costume, and I think he turned out really cool. You can see the guide for this one on the channel. Now, the other thing I do want to mention is that, of course, if you guys want to see guides for any of these other characters, just simply let me know down in the comment section below. Like, say, hey, I'd like to see how you actually built this character or that character, and if you want a specific guide video, I'll put that together, because it should be pretty fast, especially now that I already know kind of the recipe for the characters. It should be really short videos. So from there, we transition to our next character, which is not going to be Shoto Todoroki, although check out that customs video, because it was an absolute blast to build this guy from My Hero Academia. Next up, we have Green Lantern Flash, which I think turned out super duper cool. We did use the Simon Baz torso piece for him, and then of course gave him the Green Lantern ring. I did adjust the cowl every single time to be green or blue or whatever it might be, whatever lantern it is, along with the ears, I guess, or whatever you'd call those, lightning bolts on the sides of his head, to be a lighter shade of the lantern that it is appropriately set up. So I think that overall he turned out really cool, and he's actually one of my personal favorite designs that we have here today. And I also did use the leg pieces from the Green Lantern Hal Jordan design as well, so that was pretty cool to see. Now, from there, we transition to our next lantern, which again, there is a video on the channel for this one. This is the Red Lantern Flash. We tried to make him look as menacing as possible, but it was certainly not an easy task to complete, just on the basis that there weren't really any faces or expressions that we could use that had like the rage red eyes that we wanted to try to mimic. So we had to use some goggles for that. But outside of that, all the other elements for this guy actually turned out really cool. It's a mostly black and red design, obviously, as you can see. Very cool helmet, very cool design with the lantern ring glowing around. The only thing I would possibly change on this guy, like having looked at him after designing a lot of these other ones, but I wanted to use this design since I already have a video for him. I would possibly maybe add a little bit more red for the shoulders. So maybe like do a dual split color of red and black instead of just the majority black that we have right now, because I think it would be just a nicer balance in color. Now, I guess I didn't even realize that I had the transformation scale ability for him. So let's go on ahead and carry on to our next lantern. This is going to be a popular one. This is Black Lantern Flash. And I know he's got a cape. I know what you're saying. He's not supposed to have a cape. Well, I just felt like with the black lanterns, it kind of fit in with the torn up kind of look of the costume. I think he looks super sick. I love the expression. I think that this might be the best expression that we have for a character. It's kind of what I wish we would have had for the red lanterns. Same kind of grinning teeth, but ideally maybe the red eyes instead of the yellow eyes that we used here. I think that was from the Shazam DLC pack that we got this particular face expression. So the way that you would be able... Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this one had a scaling ability as well. I turned that off! Oh, that is so frustrating that it wasn't turned off. But basically what we did is we went ahead and used, I think it's from the Greed or Pride characters from the Shazam DLC packs. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take a quick little breather here as I transition to the next one. But as you can see, very cool and very menacing design for the Black Lantern Flash. Right, guys, so we've got our reboot underway. I really hope they patch that glitch. And next up, we have the Indigo Lantern Flash, who turned out pretty cool. We've got the mostly pink, kind of bright pink, I guess, even. Maybe, I don't want to say purple, because that's going to be the purple lanterns, or the, sorry, what were they called? There's an act. Are you kidding me right now? Why does this one have the quick selection as well? I don't understand. I legitimately did not have that power turned on for these characters. It's so odd. I don't understand it. I really don't. Why does he have this power? But I guess maybe on the bright side, it does give us kind of a much nicer look of the actual custom. I really did try to go on ahead and adjust at least certain elements between the characters. So you'll see, like, we use different leg pieces for the characters. We used different arm pieces, not just always reusing the same even style. So that was something that I really wanted to make sure that was kind of different across the different characters, because I wanted to make sure that there's something unique between them. But with that in mind, let's transition to the next one, which is going to be Yellow Lantern Flash. So you'll notice that he's probably the only one out of the entire bunch. Him and, sorry, Green Lantern are the ones that don't have the Flash logo, but actually have the proper logo on the chest of the Lantern Corps that they belong to. So I used the Sinestro Corps, obviously, torso piece, and I think that this, honestly, it might be the nicest looking design out of the entire bunch. I just think it turned out really, 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 really cool. So as far as just an accuracy standpoint, yes, he looks a little bit like Professor Zoom, but I would say that for me personally, it's the nicest one of the bunch that we have assembled here today. I think he just looks the coolest. I think he turned out really, really, really neat. And I think that the yellow lantern ring and just the entire look all together comes together really, really nicely and feels complete. Like, it almost looks like, hey, what would they have done if they were to customize a yellow lantern Flash? And I feel like this would be very, very close to what we would have wound up with. So from there, we transition to, not Water Hazard, what were the purple lanterns called? They're not Indigo lanterns. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I don't remember the name of these lanterns for some. Amethyst, I want to say, maybe. But the purple lantern is quite plain and did turn out to be somewhat similar to the Indigo lantern, at least to an extent, but obviously used different leg pieces at least, and completely different color schemes, obviously, because they're very different lantern classes. But the arms are the same. So is the torso. It's just that I feel like that wound up looking the nicest and wound up looking the most clean out of the entire bunch. So from there, let's transition to what I think is going to be actually a really popular variation with you guys, and that's Orange Lantern Flash. So you'll notice that with him, I really did try to go quite different by including the whole fur thing around his neck, just because I wanted him to be at least somewhat inspired by Larfleeze and something like that, bringing a little bit more of an animalistic style. And then in addition to that, I did change up the helmet for him, just because I felt like it looks a little bit more unique and different, and again, allowed this variation of the Flash to stand out. It was kind of difficult to customize this one since there's only one color of orange in the game. Like, they don't only have one shade of orange, so we had to use the yellow kind of shading for the other elements on the torso, like the logo and the belt. Those had to be adjusted to yellow because they don't have like a variation of oranges. So that was a bit unfortunate. Obviously, also did include speedster ability on all of these because after all, it's the Flash. You still maintain that power even when you are a lantern. So I think that that one turned out really cool. And I went with the red eyes for him because I felt like it was kind of appropriate here and looked very, very, very cool overall. So for our last lantern, we have the White Lantern Flash, which, right behind Yellow Lantern Flash, I think is my favorite. I just really, really love the way that this design turned out to be. I mean, look at the gold boots. I wish there was a way to recolor the torso instead of being yellow to be gold as well, because I really think that the gold and white would work so, so, so nice. I do think that you could make the argument that he looks a little bit like Godspeed, but overall, I still do think that there's more elements here that make him Flash-esque than to look like Godspeed. And of course, we do have the White Lantern ring available as well. So with that in mind, ladies and gents, that was the showcase of all of our different lantern characters. We had 1 in the White Lantern, 2 in the Orange Lantern, Amethyst Lantern was number 3, Yellow Lantern was number 4, we had Indigo Lantern as number 5, Black Lantern Flash as number 6, Red Lantern Flash as number 7, Green Lantern Flash as number 8, and of course, the Blue Lantern Flash was number 9. So let me know down in the comment section below which of all of these different varieties of the flash lanterns is your personal favorite. I look forward to seeing the comment section down below and seeing what it is that you guys think turned out the coolest. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you all later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.